Homo sapiens, humans, we are complex creatures of both reasoned intellect and primal instinct. Over the slow and sometimes painful path from the safety of cavernous dwellings to the vibrant city sprawls that we created, we learned from trial and tribulation how to live together, most of the time in peace. Some of the time, in a state of chaos. Those times of chaos have often been born of our innate infamous gift of both making rules for ourselves and breaking them. As our modern society has evolved and technology has rooted itself in our very existence, there has evolved a need to create rules around the lifeblood of our civilization. Some might argue that lifeblood is money. Others might decree it as material needs that keep us alive. Clothing, food, and transportation. The truth is much simpler. The very veins of our human civilization are pulsing with electric current, generated, amplified, and distributed by the bulk electric system. Without that, there is no food, no water, no money, no material things, no rules. Just darkness. For that reason, our society placed legally binding regulations to ensure the protection of the BES. The key players in that grand chessboard are FERC, NERC, the regional entities, and the most important participants, the utilities across North America. When the SIP and O&P standards were forged, the obligations to adhere to the standards were voluntary, and like everyone entrusted with power and responsibility left unchecked, not everyone obeyed. Thus, NERC was given the compliance and enforcement authority to ensure compliance with the standards, and perhaps more poignantly, the means by which to punish those utilities that failed to comply. What is a CEA? A CEA can be either a regional entity, such as WEC, CERC, or Reliability First, which is a regional organization that has been delegated authority by NERC to perform certain functions, or NERC itself, which acts as the CEA for entities that are not within the boundaries of any regional entity. A CEA has several roles and responsibilities, such as registering entities that perform functions that are essential for the reliable operation of the bulk power system, such as generators, transmission owners, conducting audits, investigations, spot checks, and self-certifications to verify that registered entities are complying with the NERC reliability standards. Issuing notices of alleged violation, penalties, sanctions, or remedial actions for non-compliance with the NERC reliability standards. Providing vital guidance, education, and outreach to registered entities and other stakeholders on compliance matters. This is an essential tool for the CEA to help ensure that future infractions are avoided. A CEA is an important part of the ERO enterprise, which is the collective name for NERC and the regional entities. The ERO enterprise works together to ensure that the bulk power system in North America operates reliably and securely. By being a CEA, an entity contributes to this mission and helps protect the critical lifeblood we have come to rely on so crucially. This awesome responsibility comes with a high price tag, one that comes from the utilities that power our daily lives. The price on that tag? Nearly $70 million annually. Our society is based on rules. Laws, regulations, mandates, and ordinances have been shaped and molded into our daily lives so that we may live together, thrive together, and grow together. None of which is possible without that vital lifeblood of electricity flowing through our civilization. The NERC reliability standards govern staggeringly crucial elements of our modern world. They protect critical cyber systems that control the generation of electricity. They guide our strategies to maintain the mechanical mechanisms to move electricity, store it, and eventually deliver it to our hands and homes. And they protect the men and women who both serve and are served by the BES. We rely on the rules that govern our modern grid, and we rely on the tireless efforts of the men and women who collectively belong to either a regional entity or NERC itself. These individuals collectively perform as watchful eyes for potential issues, skilled investigators for the root cause of issues as they crop up, and enforcers who balance the risk of the potential violation against the consequences of the violation. Those enforcers can choose to issue anything from a warning ticket to a massive penalty. Lastly, they serve as educators, training the incredible people who manage the utilities and produce that current flowing through our modern world's veins. It's an incredible responsibility, one that requires the utmost transparency, ethical conduct, and fairness. It's an often thankless task that literally keeps the lights on. And that is a NERC CEA.